Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are after market close on Monday, October 11th. We're going to take our Monday look at Palantir. We do this every Monday, so if you enjoy videos about Palantir and you like this one, I would suggest maybe a subscribe and notification bell is in your future so that you get these every Monday. And of course, if something major happens in the in-between and I feel like I have something to add to it, I'll come in and do one. I don't have to wait until the following Monday. But we'll start with the intraday today just to kind of catch up on that, and then we'll zoom out to the daily chart, which is mostly what we've been using. So today was really kind of a story of just Palantir kind of kicking around between support and resistance levels that we had charted on the daily. So we see 2312 here. So as it was sort of selling off into open this morning, it got within what? 11 cents of that, and then started to build pressure up over the VWAP and did a really good job. And it looked like it was having potential to try to break out a bit more today. But essentially what happened was it came up and bounced off of this 23.98 to the exact penny that we had charted previously as resistance, and came down and tested the VWAP and bounced off of that. Now it was on this second attempt, or if it could have mustered a third attempt, that it could have potentially, it had exhausted some of the selling pressure that it was meeting there and be able to bust through and make a run toward even then the next highest resistance level. But basically on this attempt at support with the VWAP, it just fell through, and then it was below the VWAP, which is a resistance level intraday, and was trying to sort of muster very, very close in support at the 2370 level. So you see that treating it as support a bunch of times here, and essentially it just ended up in this range and it couldn't hold it, and then sold off into close. Don't necessarily think that that's indicative of like anything that's going to push really hard in the days to come, like that sell-off into close. But to me, it did a pretty good job today. I mean, it definitely could have had a much better day, but I do think the next time that it's able to make a run at this $24, we'll just call it that, $24 attempt, it'll be interesting to see if it has now consumed the selling pressure, exhausted the selling pressure that exists there. Because even this would have caught some of, that motion up toward 24, and whatever the cells that are built up there, it's now starting to be quite a few attempts. So the biggest thing here to me is that it continues to hold these support levels, obviously, so that it can muster its next run at $24. But that could be a really good sign and could definitely give it some breakout potential, which we've seen it doing sort of a lot of lately, right? And so here's kind of the levels. I know this is a bit dicey. These are the blue support and resistance levels, the most close in support and resistance levels that we have. It's only 3, but I know it makes it look like kind of a messy chart. But if you can just kind of ignore that for the moment, because you do see that they're helpful on the intraday, which we were just looking at. But if we could focus on this white parallel channel up, it's sitting right toward the bottom of that, and it's trying to kind of maintain itself in there. So to my mind, as long as it doesn't start to treat the bottom bound of this channel as resistance, which it's not yet, it's really fighting with it, right? It's really fighting with which way am I going to go here. As long as it doesn't turn it to clear resistance and then start moving away from the channel, I feel pretty good about this channel still. And obviously it's at the bottom of the channel, so it's a really good buy opportunity if it's able to maintain its price action in this channel, which it has done several times. That said, all channels eventually break, and so this could be breaking right now. It may not be. It's just sort of, like I said, it's in this period of time where it's trying to make a decision. Now, if it does break the channel and come down, and it loses like this 2312, for example, the next best bounce area that I would look for would be this purple zone, which would take us nearing to $20, maybe 20.50 up to like 21 and a quarter. So that area should have really strong potential for support. I mean, you see it way back here, and but it may not need it. Like I said, if it can just work itself back, even treating this lower bound of the channel as support, which wouldn't be like this really exciting move up, but would at least sort of keep the action in there. And if it does that, then it can flip that, say, $23.98, which I was calling $24 level, to supports. Then we can start to look at, okay, what are the next obvious levels up that we can be looking for day to day, or what have you. And then the next big question in my mind, if it is able to get this bullish momentum going, is this level from like mid 27s up to like high 27s, so just like a 50-cent range or so. But there's a lot of selling pressure there, and it was briefly able to get itself up and over there a few weeks ago at this point, and then just lost it really quickly, right? So I think that's also when there was some sort of deprecating news that had come out also. And but to my mind, if it's coming up there again, even without bad news previously, it was catching a lot of sell pressure there. And so the question that I've been asking along the way, which I thought we had answered here, was all of the selling pressure now exhausted at this level, right? This is just a more macro version of the intraday that we just looked at with this selling pressure talking point that I'm talking about. But that will be my next big question: does this continue to remain sort of a pushback level if and when Palantir makes a move up there, or is it able to just sort of blow through here now? We can sort of start to ignore this level as not really a thing, and that it sort of proved that here, that wasn't a big level of selling pressure anymore, and then just because there was maybe some negative catalysts involved, that was more of a factor of what pushed the price down, other than a bunch of selling pressure catching up, or maybe raising the selling pressure up into this like $29 area. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So just a quick recap of the most important thing that I'm looking for is certainly holding of the 2312 support at the very, very least, but mostly what I'm hoping is that it's able to get support on this lower bound of this channel, get itself clearly back in the channel, which would allow it to continue to stair step up in the sort of effort of getting back into the 30s. But if it breaks it, we'll just have to sort of keep a close eye on it and see what it's doing when it's breaking it. Is it then going to sort of retrace and actually try to hit this purple zone again, or is it just going to start following the channel up just slightly outside of it, which can happen quite often. But we'll just have to see. But for now, to me, this hasn't broken the channel yet. It's not treating this as support, it's just fighting it. And it's worth just sort of keeping an eye on and waiting to see what the stock or the market decides to do. All right, folks, well, I hope that your trading week got off to a good start. And as always, I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video.